What's up, YouTube? It's your boy King Say So, and I'm back. Before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and as you always watch the full video.
Nolan Well Friends did this new interview with Officer Tatum, and the interview itself was a disaster, in my opinion. The purpose of this new interview from Officer Tatum was for Nolan Well Friends to garner sympathy from the public. And it actually did the opposite, and you will see why.
I've been called out in public, and I haven't been in public that much. I know my friends have had encounters in public. The threats have been insane from, my stepmom, my dad, my mom, just everyone included, like even my brothers and my sisters. And it's just hard. I mean, it's unbelievable where like this has been taken to and the level where this is at.
When you say you've been called out in public, can you give me an example of like, what do you mean? People are threatening you with weapons? People are, not allowing you, denying you service? Because I heard that Tristan, he went to a corner store and they told him his money is not good there. They wouldn't even let him buy Gatorade.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing things like that or something?
That's crazy though. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. But I ain't gonna say like they deserve this. But shit like this happens when y'all the last one to see somebody, and then y'all are all acting clueless. So what happens to somebody, bro? Like it don't. Like again, this whole story, it just don't sound right. How can you be on a beach on an island with people, up to 1,000 people, whatever? All the people, you came on 3 boats, 20 people, and it's still including all the other people that are on this island, and nobody knows what happened to you. How? That makes no sense. Does that mean directly that his friend, the one that he came and left with, did something to him? No, but something happened, and somebody should know something, especially when y'all are saying, "Oh, we left him. We last seen him. He was talking to Katie, and Katie said she last seen him talking to y'all, or he was going over to y'all." Somebody's lying. It could be the girl. It could be the girl, but somebody's lying.
It's totally different.
Right. I wouldn't say like that. I think I haven't been denied, anything, but like Trayson, it's hard to hear from a good friend of mine that he's getting denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull before work and having to, like, he calls me, he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. He got called out at Walmart. Someone called him out at Walmart and was like, asking him all these questions and trying to press him about it. And it's crazy to me. Like, we live in a very tight-knit community, and for people to, push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like, it's really hard. And I mean, I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have, so.
Tristan is the black kid, by the way, who did the interview with Tatum, who went off on the black community, who claimed that the black community has never been good to him. His white side has always been the best to him. He went off on Nolan Well's mama, went off on Benjamin Crump. Now, by the way, Tristan was somebody nobody knew of. Nobody had a picture of Tristan. Nobody included Tristan in this mess. Tristan inserted himself in this mess by requesting an interview with like NBC or ABC. He's the one that inserted himself in this mess. Tristan did. All right. So the fact that he inserted himself in this mess and now he's claiming victim to me is crazy. But just one more.
Yeah, like the whole thing was focused on the white boys. So nigga, how did you had to get inserted, nigga? You should have stayed on the side, kept your opinion to yourself. Especially when you're trying to go off on people, bro. That's crazy. Especially his mom. Like I didn't see that video. I've been trying to really just react to the video of like the big major moments instead of like just every single thing, because that's a lot of bullshit.
Thing to point out, before we address the actual claims that Tristan was being threatened, Tristan is one of the only black friends, right, in this friend group. And somehow Tristan, who's also being threatened, isn't being represented by the powerhouse Donald Trump attorney. Everybody you see there are being represented by Donald Trump's attorney, right? He's the guy who's filing defamation claims against everybody. Tristan isn't sitting there. Tristan is not being represented by the powerhouse attorney, right? Only the white kids are. This may be Tristan wake-up call, right? Trust me, I would know about wake-up calls, all right? Now, the Tristan situation, do I feel like people are looking at Tristan and really thinking that Tristan has something to do with this. I don't think so. Because for all accounts, Tristan left the island early. Tristan was never on the boat back or two. Tristan literally is not even a part of the situation. Tristan inserted himself because he's a clout chaser. He was trying to clout chase. And it looks like he got the attention that he was so desperately seeking and craving. So we'll have to ask the local corner store owner, did you kick Tristan out? Did you kick him out of your store?
They have the right to do that. Every store has the right to refuse anything for any reason. So you fucked up, bro.
Because of you believing that he's involved in Nolan Wall's death, or because of the things he said about Nolan Wall's mama, who's a beloved figure in the community, because of the things he said about the Black community in Ocean Springs, right? I can almost guarantee you it's probably the latter, not the before, right? Because I don't think anybody thinks that Tristan murdered Nolan Wells, right? Because Tristan, again, was not involved. He's a clout chaser, okay? Now, it doesn't just stop at Tristan. They also told this story of when their life was in danger, but the story itself doesn't really add up, and it broke down as they told it.
Or what does that look like when you go out? People threaten you with weapons, or people trying to physically harm you, or people having to be restrained? What kind of engagement is happening when you guys go out?
We went to a restaurant, a couple of buddies of mine, and when we were, I wouldn't say threatening with weapons or anything, but I felt, and I know my friends felt, threat for our lives. I mean, I don't think...
No threats with weapons or anything, but he felt threatened for his life. Tell us more. How did you feel threatened for your life?
Probably you had people staring at you.
There was like a fear factor, but at the same time, like it's awkward in public. Like I stated, like when we have to talk about these things. But we went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, "Is this you?" And I was kind of like shaken up about it. Well, at first she asked like my name and like all these questions, and I was like, okay, whatever, she's just coming up to talk. Well, then she came up to me again and showed me our first interview and was like, "Are you sure this isn't you?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's me, like obviously." And she kind of just, I looked at my buddy and I was like, "Yeah, we're leaving. Like close everything out. Like we're going."
That would, if you're on the news for something and people are accusing you of something, if somebody walking to you, "Hey, is this you?" If this was me, I would have been in fear too. I would have been like, "Hold the fuck up, bro. What you gonna do?" Like, cause nigga, if you got all these people threatening you, thinking that you did something, this person might do something to you. They might slap you, punch you, kick you, whatever. Oh, you did, like, they might have the same reaction that people are having in your DM in person. So I ain't gonna lie, he has the right to have this fear. Because again, what if it come out to be that they didn't even do nothing? What if it was a girl? What if it was a nigga Bart? What if it was just another random person that was on the island? That's the thing I don't like about the news somewhat. Like, because like you could be guilty by this, I don't want to say association, but I guess yeah, this, you could be guilty just by being associated to something that happened, and because you're the only one that people can see, you're guilty. Like they're all, him and his friends are guilty just because they were the friends and they left. What if they truly did just leave that nigga, which is still fucked up? But what if it happened just like that? His ass is really on some high power shit, nigga. I ain't going back with you niggas, and then I'm staying. And all right, bro, that's what you want to do? All right, nigga. How much time? Like we all been there. I'm not gonna continue arguing with my homie. Like nigga, I'm not your daddy. I ain't your uncle, nigga. I can't force you. So if I'm telling you, hey, we finna leave because of this, and you like, nigga, I ain't going. All right. But it is like the thing that they did all after the fact. Nigga, like even if that situation happened the way how I just said it, and then my friend came out to be, oh, this nigga's missing, this nigga's hurt, this nigga, I'm outside. Hold up. But the fact that supposedly y'all didn't do that.
Hold on, bruh. The woman came up and said, "Hey, is this you?" Then she came back and said, "Well, you sure it's not you?" And that right there was the threat that amounted to you feared for your life and you had to run out the place because a woman came up to you and asked you if this was you that did a very public interview. What are we talking about here, man?
Flacco, really, bruh? Come on, dog. Like Flacco be back and say like nothing is possible, nigga. If I don't care if I did it, if I'm a YouTuber, I'm doing YouTube right now. If somebody walked up to me and after they say I did a crazy video or shit, this video, hey, is this you? I don't know what your reaction is going to be. You might feel like, hey, I was wrong for saying what I said. I was right for saying what I said. You never know what somebody's reaction is going to be to what you just did. So he felt in fear because somebody, well, hey, is this you? Is this you? Why are you trying to confirm if it's me or not? Why does that matter? What? So yes, that would make somebody be in fear of their life, nigga. Flacco, if you think, nigga, like even for him, so Flacco, you have said a lot of crazy shit on in video. You have disrespected gangbangers, all type of shit. So a gangbanger walk into you and say, "Hey, is this you? You gonna be perfectly happy? Hell no. You gonna be like, hold it, nigga. Your mind, your heart gonna get to racing. Your mind, what is this nigga about to do? What is he about to say? What happened, bruh?
What? Yo, this. Yeah, yo, it gets even more ridiculous when they keep talking. So far, the only quote unquote threat on their life that they received is a woman came up and asked them if this was him that did the interview, multiple interviews with Officer Tatum. And because she asked him, "Is this you?" That right there was a threat that amounted to a threat on his life. But it gets more ridiculous.
And I left, and there was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were going to kill them and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff. I mean, I wasn't there, but my friends told me this, that what the people were saying to them was like totally just crazy. Like, I mean, there was people like that were, outside of this telling us like, hey, you need to leave before something happens because I know what could go down right now. And like, I know that these people are crazy.
He wasn't there. He never heard anybody say that. He never witnessed it. He wasn't there when it took place, but somehow he's repeating it as if it's facts. But here's the thing. The friend that starts speaking directly after him would say he never heard that part of the story before. He never heard that people's lives was threatened before. So, and they both was quote unquote there. They both quote unquote left. So if your friends that were still inside came outside and told y'all, hey, they just threatened our life, why is your other friend, right, that's sitting next to you, I think his name is Jackson, why?
He didn't say that. He said they came outside. I mean, he just told them that they did say, hey, you need to leave. But his friends getting threatened, that was when they were gone.
Is he telling, like Tatum and everybody, hey, I never heard that part of the story. Come on, bruh. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And and if you guys were gonna come on air and come on this platform and present these stories or present these people as boogeymen and y'all as like innocent victims, then y'all should have gotten y'all story straight before you.
Flacco, again, if you ever see this video, because I do be tagging this nigga, but if you were sitting here thinking that them boys ain't getting no type of threats, you're crazy. You're crazy. If you think it's nobody in their comment, like if they still got them active or whatever, if they're open, if you think ain't nobody in their DMs, in their comment sections, saying shit, if you think they're just walking up and down the street and no person is looking at them, I don't care if they black or white, if nobody is looking at them like, yeah, that's them niggas right there, that's them boys right there, you're crazy. This is this is Earth. Year 2026, supposedly. Like, nigga, if people, you can say this person can put that this a regular Joe Schmo got into it with your favorite artist. That person, that artist, their fan base is in that nigga DM that night. That's how it goes. Even though it's crazy, but that's what people do. So if he think that them boys ain't getting absolutely no type of like messed up messages, DMs, crazy threats or whatever, Flacco, you're crazy, bro. If you think that, you're crazy.
you guys came on this platform, right? Because so far what we're hearing is no threats was made on your life, but you still ran out the building because she asked you if this was you on TikTok. You claiming your friends told you their life was quote unquote in danger, but you never witnessed it, you never saw it, you never heard it,
How you know what he heard? How you know what he heard?
Other friend is saying he never heard anything like that.
So I mean, we all felt we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group, and I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend and you have nothing to do with it.
Nolan Wall's best friends is Warren. According to you, Warren, Tristan said he's the best friend. Javon said he's the best friend. And let's just say those other guys that are there are saying that they're the best friend. None of y'all have witnessed, have experienced somebody looking you in your eyes and telling you they're going to murder you. You guys have said that. So which one of the quote unquote best friends did that happen to? So Nolan, so the guys that were also like in the store or in the restaurant, right? Those guys were also Nolan Wall's best friends. How many best friends do Nolan Wall have, bro? The entire town is Nolan Wall's best friend.
And Morgan and Jax, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there.
I ain't like the entire town, but people do have more than one best friend. What is Flacco? Like I don't like nigga. Like people have more than one, bro. I've had two girls. I had two girl best friends before. I had a girl best friend and a guy best friend. Like what are you talking about? Like it is very possible.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were gonna kill him and stuff, but I did hear whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar." And he was like,
"Bro, he told him to his face. I don't know what he's talking about in terms of they said they're gonna kill him. I wasn't there. I don't."
No, he didn't. No, he didn't say that. He just said he didn't hear it. He never said I didn't hear that part of the story. That's not true. He's lying. What are you talking about, Flacco?
"Hey,
Hey, look.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were gonna kill him and stuff, but
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it because it wasn't told to him. It was told to him. Could he be lying? Yes, he could very much be possibly lying.
I did hear whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar." And he was like,
"Bro, he told him to his face. I don't know what he's talking about in terms of they said they're gonna kill him. I wasn't there."
So wait, how Flacco just said that? It was like nigga, like he looked at him like, "Nigga, you lying, bro? That never happened." And he didn't do that. He just said, "I didn't hear that."
I don't know what he's talking about, but I did, hear the lady come up to him and ask him if this was him on TikTok. Now do you see why people are so suspicious of these dudes? Now you see why people consider these dudes so sketchy? Like, now do you see why? No, for a story where apparently they were all present, there's 5 different variations of this story. 5 different ones. Jax, who was apparently with Warren at the quote-unquote altercation, his description, his reiteration of what took place is completely different from Warren.
"No, I don't have TikTok, anything like that." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And then walked off and then came back with, like you said, the first interview on her phone and showing him. She's like, "So this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger or this is you." And he was like, "Well, yeah, that's me." And then we got the check and we bounced and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there. And while we're waiting outside is whenever
he said exactly what he just said. Then Flacco? What are you talking? He's saying he just basically repeated what he said. He didn't say it like the exact details because nigga, that's how we all know. We learned this in elementary with the game popcorn. You hear something happens to you, when you repeat it to this person is going to repeat it in a whole different version. We learned this in school.
Some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was getting told that other people are going to kill them, and
he said exactly what he just said.
All that kind of stuff.
Don't get that confused with people telling the quote-unquote friends that were still left, "We're going to get you." No. Don't get that confused with that. They're about to clarify it up. What actually took place was a bystander or somebody essentially seen the woman come up to him, ask him if this was him. he then got up and jetted out to the store. The bystander noticed what's going on, and the bystander told him, "Hey, you might want to leave, right? Because
You just said that he didn't. That he never heard that. Nobody threatened him. Flacco, this was a bad video. This was a bad video. I watched and react to a lot of your videos. It's probably like 3 or 4 uploading today, but this is a bad one.
these folks in this town, they're not playing. When they see you, they might get y'all." So a bystander told them these things, and they got spooked out and left.
So how did that make you guys
He said that. That's crazy. He said I have to leave because somebody said they might do something to you.
feel when you? I mean, did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
I think it was just like I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened.
The one that's currently speaking, he was still present. He was still there when these two was out the restaurant. He was still there. Here is him explaining what exactly took place and how Warren's quote-unquote idea of what took place is completely wrong and is contradictory to what he's about to say. Warren says they told him, "We're going to kill you. We're going to get you." He's about to explain.
You just said that, and he just said that a bystander told him that. What are you talking about?
As they told him, "We're going to kill you. We're going to..."
Where you keep getting that?
Get you. He's about to explain.
Well, he just said they got bystander said, because based on what they just seen, that you should get up out of here.
Was there, and all I heard was this bystander tell them, "Hey, y'all might want to leave because these people are not playing," which is completely different from from the narrative that Tatum is trying to push out there.
And I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved, and he told me straight up, he was like, "If I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt.
He's saying the same thing.
Y'all need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe." And I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing almost like a mental game. Like,
he was actually there, and that's entirely different than the original story, which
no, the fuck it's not. No, Flocka, are you listening? I know I'm high, and I know this nigga. I don't think he smoked, but I don't think he's paying attention to everything that's been said, because to me they're all saying the same thing. It is a different version because their own personal standpoint, their own point of view, but it's the same thing. Somebody said, y'all should leave because the people might do something to y'all. They all three repeated the person walked, or the first two repeated the part when the person walked into him and said, "Is this you?" He repeated that same thing that he just said. They basically all saying the same thing.
is these monsters was telling us they was gonna get us, they was gonna take our lives, and we had to run up out of there, and our friends got threatened too. He's saying, man, listen.
Like that part that somebody directly walk up to him, "Hey, I'm gonna do something to you." That part did not happen. But him being walked to, "Hey, is this you? Is this you?" And then people looking at them, and the person, somebody walking up and say, "Hey, y'all should leave." They all said the same thing. That's on point for all three. For I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
The lady came, man. She asked for, she asked dude if this was him on TikTok or in his interview. That's public, by the way. He got spooked and left. They were sitting there, like one of the other dudes told them, "Hey, y'all better get up out of here, man."
Again, it's public. So you see me, you see the photo. Why do you want to confirm that it's me? If that don't make you think and feel cautious and feel like, hold up, like why, like what you own? Flocka, I don't know what the hell to tell you, bro. Maybe it might just be me because, hey, the LA shit. But like, nigga, If somebody walked up to me and is trying to confirm that this is me, knowing that my name is tied to this crazy situation, I'm getting up out of there too. Because nigga, ain't no telling what you're about to do. You might finna go make a call. Hey, that nigga right here.
Because these folks in this town don't play. If that's y'all, they're talking about regarding Nolan. Man, y'all better leave. That's entirely different, bro. Right? Just entirely different, man. And to further add, right, to their really huge mistake in doing this interview with Tatum, they took some shots at Nolan Wall's mama. Now, my thing is this: if you guys are already hated, if you guys feel like you guys are already being given an unfair chance, do you think it's wise to lie on Nolan Wall's mom? So they go ahead and take some shots at Nolan Wall's mother and accuse her of doing things that she didn't do.
How do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like, I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything. But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess. I wish.
That's anytime somebody goes missing, but the last person that they were with, that's who you gotta go. That's always get put out there. They were last seen with this person. They were last seen wearing this thing. They were last seen at this event. You gotta put that so people know. All right, they were last seen with y'all. So therefore, law enforcement can come ask y'all what happened because this person was last with y'all. The thing that made it bad is because this world and this race shit. If this would have been 4 white boys, another white boy, the race part would have never happened. But because this world is just the world that we live in, people use that. This black boy was last seen with these 4 white boys. Like it would have went. This white boy was last seen with his 4 black friends. That's just where we live in. That's where we live. It's me. It's dumb and it's fucked up. Because again, I said every time, bro. We don't even know why we're here. We don't know why we're these colors. We don't know why we're these races. So to be judging people based on that shit is crazy. I hate this shit. I truly hate this shit, bro. Like, trust me. Like, if I can go live in the Avatar world, I would go. Trust me, I would leave this motherfucker so fast. You don't even gotta fit in the sense that hey, it's a way you can go live with the Ava. What? Let's go right now. When today? Let's go, nigga. Let's get the fuck up out of here. Trust me, I would go.
I wish that would have never happened either, and I don't think if those would have never happened, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the
internet made it viral because of the race. That's what made it viral. Again, if this would have just been regular friends, somebody came up missing, it would just been regular in their town, their city, on the news. Somebody came up missing. It would still hit the news, but it went viral the way it did. It went viral because again, black boy mission Mississippi, three or four white friends, racism.
The country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out.
Like, sorry to keep pausing, but like, look at the one black girl and her husband. I think that was in New Mexico or wherever that was at. That wouldn't win as viral if that was not an interracial couple. That wouldn't win viral. It would have hit the regular news. Some people would have saw it. It probably would have hit certain blog things, and then that would be it. It went viral because it's a black woman who went out of the country with her new non-black husband, and she came up missing. It still was crazy that supposedly how they was together and then they got into it. He left, she came back, whatever, and then she supposedly gone. Like, that was still crazy, but it was still when it's viral. If the race part was not a factor, it's like the one girl, the OF girl, and the black boyfriend. That when it's viral, if there wasn't a white girl and a black guy, the race part was not a factor. That shit wouldn't went as viral as it did.
Portion and
the post where the mom posted their picture, where they're saying this is an example of the mom pushing a narrative or pushing racism, is a post where the mama is correcting a mistake she made. So at the time, the mama didn't have any pictures of Nolan on the island that day. So she was telling people, yo, somebody told me he had on black swim trunks. Please, if you guys see my son, he has on black swim trunks. She then found out he had on blue swim trunks when she received this picture. So she began to post this picture of Nolan saying, yo, this is what he was wearing on the island that day. If you guys see him, please let me know. Nolan was still missing at the time. He was still missing.
Yeah. She was right for this. Again, she was right for it. But it's the fact, again, it's this world, bro. It's this world. This world is still, it's where it's fucked up. And it got too much racism in it to let shit go. I'm not saying, because, hey, it's too hard to let shit go because the shit keep continue happening. But, again, this wasn't her trying to point out the fact or be racist. This wasn't her trying to put them in a hole. This is the only photo that she has, nigga. This is the photo that she needs. Especially, this is a mom. This ain't us. This would have been me. I probably would have. I would apologize too. I wasn't gonna say if this would have been me. I probably would have blurred John out. But no, like, this is the photo, nigga.
This post here says nothing about race. This post does not accuse anybody in this picture of doing anything to Nolan. If you scroll up, the mama goes, yo, this is Nolan. He's been missing. If you guys see him, let me know. Right? She goes up and says, yo, me and my husband has been up for 48 hours. You know, we feel like our body is shutting down. If you guys can contact us, please let me know. Again, these pictures. Here's better pics from July 4th, where she's showing the world this is what Nolan was wearing. This is what Nolan looked like. This is Nolan Wells. If you find him, please let me know.
Yes.
She didn't.
She's supposed to do this. Like, these are things that people need to see. Because what if he would have still been alive, walking around? So a million people probably would have walked past him if they didn't know what he looked like and didn't know that, hey, all right, he's walking around with no shirt on and these blue shorts. I probably would have walked right past the nigga, not even knowing. But sometimes when you have a fresh, detailed picture, this why police always ask you, do you have a fresh photo? Instead of a photo from 5, 10 years ago, you need a fresh photo today of the that type of clothing that they had on. Like, he could have changed the shorts, but still had this red thing on his neck. That's why current photos are needed.
No, Nolan was dead yet. This was just her saying, yo, my son is missing. If you find him, let me know. Now the boys is saying, here's better pics from July 4th. He was wearing blue swim trunks, not black swim trunks. The boys is now saying that this post was her pushing the narrative. That post was her pushing racism. That post was the reason why people began to point their fingers at her, and they would have preferred, or rather, her not post their pictures or her post those pictures. So how is she going to find her son? How is she going to notify her son of, how is she going to notify the public of what her son looked like on that day? Yo, I don't understand. Like,
it's this world. This world is what pushes into a racist thing, bro. Because black boy for a white friend. Me, I can see it. I can see it. Like, anything can happen to anybody, but it's like, These ain't niggas these ain't boys who he just met. Like people were saying, oh, they might have did something because he was talking to the white girl. Why would your friends hate on you that much to unalive you over a girl? I can see if friends or people who you just randomly met, you just met them today, y'all had no bond, y'all had no friendship, y'all don't have nothing that will prevent you from even damn near arguing. Like when we're friends with people, you get into it, like you can stay on an arguing level. Somebody who you don't know, it's gonna go from arguing for a few seconds, let's fight. Because you don't have nothing that's preventing you and saving like, hey, that's my friend. I don't wanna go too far and then ruin my friendship. When you don't have that bond of nothing, nigga, what's up? Like,
I understand going off on the content creators or going off on the YouTubers. I don't understand like going off on Nolan's mama. I don't understand accusing Nolan's parents of doing anything wrong. All the parents are trying to do is find their son. Her posting those pictures,
yeah, they put the blame in the wrong area.
Was not to accuse you guys of anything. They were saying, yo, this is what Nolan was wearing.
Like, it's hard to keep up, but I would have said I wouldn't have brought it to mom, but I would have said I hate the fact that the world has made this into a racist thing just because he's black and we're white when we are friends. We are friends at the end of the day. We would never have done that to him. Like, you should have kept it on that. But blaming her, she didn't push no narrative, nigga. She's trying to find her son.
This is how he looked like. And those were the only pictures she had of him from the island. What they're doing to this mom is not okay and is not cool, bruh. Is not cool at all, man. Now, Donald Trump's attorney that's representing him, he stepped in afterwards and he made veiled threats. Now, here's the thing, bro. If you guys want to be sympathetic figures, you probably don't start off with making veiled threats like, oh, we're coming and it's gonna hurt. Like, all right, son. Like, all right, bro. All right, man.
And Ed, as an attorney that's representing these boys, I mean, what does that make you feel like? Do you feel like you got a good case here, or what's your perspective in that? Because people are online, and obviously they know who you are. Obviously they know you represented Donald Trump in some pretty high-profile cases, and so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here. You hear them say things like they've been accosted, they've been, threatened online. Does that make your case a greater case, or how do you work within what's happening to these young men?
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're going to get you. And you're going to be hauled into court, you're going to be held accountable, and it's going to be very painful. And what I would say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave. You won't be able to get out of it. And we're not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess. We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal in facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right? We don't know how Nolan.
But how can you pull somebody into court for lying on them if the case ain't even done yet? You gotta prove somebody's lying by proving that they didn't do nothing.
Wells died. No one here is saying we know. But what we do know is Morgan, Jax, and Warren had nothing whatsoever to do with Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And unfortunately, because there are people who want to
name these three though. So what about the other ones?
Divide a town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy. And I just want to say this. Here's why it's an even bigger tragedy. Because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer, finest that Mississippi has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer.
This interview is having an opposite effect. Instead of making them a sympathetic figure, when people hear them say that about Nolan,
What? What? So that means he's better than that. Them three niggas is better than all of us. All this is the best that America has to offer. These three, none of us, nobody else, not even you. This them three.
was mom. They're not sympathetic towards anything these kids got going on, because these kids understand the mama is being hit with false complaints. The mama, like professional review is being bombarded with negative reviews, right, by white supremacists. The mama is getting false complaints. The nursing board is investigating her, or they closed the investigation, but they started an investigation into it, and that stays on her record. So they understand, right? The mama is being bombarded for simply asking what happened to my son. The mama has not brought up race at all. What happened to my son? And the fact that they are adding to the hate and compiling on the hate on their dead best friend's mom.
Yeah, they didn't, but it's you can't kind of say um Benjamin Trump or whatever his name is, like the way he kept saying it, like Nolan with his 4 white boys, his 4 white friends, his white boy. He kept saying that shit over and over and over and over again. That's what adding to the racism shit, bro. You keep pointing that out, even though that is a big a key factor, but it's like it shouldn't be. The key fact should be his friends. It shouldn't be the race part shouldn't be a factor in it. But that's just world that we live in, bro.
To me, it's just insane. We can take a look at the response from this interview, and it would show it didn't have the intended effect that they wanted it to have. So one person stated, so they can go on interviews and give support, but the mother gets bashed for trying to find her son killer. All right, man, in response to them blaming the mama, right? And like one person says, TMZ is invested in persuading people of those boys' innocence.
She's like, he skipped over that one though. He skipped over this one though. He skipped over this one. These comments are ridiculous. It's almost like black folks want these boys to be guilty. If you're going to enroll a little bit of trust, I think that's the word. Enroll a little bit of trust between races. Social media is just exposing the I can't say that one. Racism. I know this word, but I can't say it. Possessive, pervasives. Yeah, racism in the black community, and y'all think this will have no. My thing is again, if this would have been this 4 people, this 4 white boys, this 4 black boys, this race part wouldn't have been a factor. It wouldn't be included, and this shit would definitely, more than likely, not have gone this viral, and wouldn't be taking this long to get solved.
TMZ is invested in persuading people of those boys' innocence. Nolan was like his brother, but when he was missing, no one had any urgency to look for him or give his parents his phone. She had to rely on Life 360.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's why I said that didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. Like again, if my homie, if me and my friends about to leave, the other homie like, nigga, I ain't going, I'm staying. He on some shit like that. All right, bro, we out of here, bro. I told you we was leaving. You said you want to stay. All right, bam. So we leave, and then this happened, nigga. I'm at the mama house. What are you talking about? I'm there. I'm calling. I'm what? Like, there's no way in hell that my friend came up missing after we just left this nigga somewhere and I'm finna sit in the house. No, I'm putting up. I'm outside. Nigga, where this nigga at, bro? I left this nigga right here, bro. We going back and get this boat or get the other homie boat. It was 20 people, 3 different boats. One of them boats is going back, nigga, to the island. Nigga, where the homie at?
To locate the phone. Side note, why are they talking to former officer, current content creator Tatum? Body language, they're saying is off. And one person says, so is it true Nolan's phone was never turned over to the authorities and that allegedly Nolan's mom has his phone? If so, why is she allowed to keep it since a huge part of the case? Again, man, it's always the white AVR.
No, right? That's true though. That's true though. Cause like if if the phone was a big major piece of the all right, they left him behind, but suppose they still left with his phone. Supposedly messages or something were deleted. I ain't gonna say she didn't give it to those police officers, but somebody in law enforcement needs to get it so therefore they can go through and get the certain shit. Cause they can find out what was deleted and probably can't figure out why it was deleted, but they can figure out what was deleted for sure. Because most things go to a cloud. So all they gotta do is go to his cloud, see, all right, this was there, this is not there, this is the thing that was deleted.
It's always the white AVI, right? Bro, like
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like it, like again, because to me, I'm a realistic person, bro. We don't know who did it. We don't know why they did it. It's gonna be majorly crazy if it come out to be that two of his black friends did it. That's why I say that race shit needs to stop, bro. It needs to stop. Not saying we need to get over it, because that's something people can never get over. But stop trying to put it in every single situation. Because sometimes that shit does not, it don't even play a part. People were like, this person unlike this person because they wanted to be racist towards them. How you know that this person was even thinking about anything about race?